Hello and welcome back to the Trim series. It's been quite a little bit since we last checked in here. I was up at my parents' cottage for about 2 weeks, so wasn't really able to record effectively. Low FPS, bad audio, so I decided to just dump all of the trim-related clips because I actually didn't finish any requirements. But what I've been doing is on Uncharted Islands, I have a bunch of supplies here, and we're going on these short missions. And what we're looking for are taijutsu and these washed up supplies. Right now we have 167, and I believe the number we need is like 220 or 230. But there's going to be a lot of traveling merchants around, so our goal is to get up to 200 taijutsu for now. At the same time, we're going to need chimes to get all of the supplies for all the taijutsu we need. I got about 1,000 of every single shark soup item. I just need 16 more bamboo and 22 more mushrooms, and then we can go ahead and make another 1,000 of these uncooked shark soup. But before we do that, I'm going to go through and use up my remaining 300-ish supplies and see how many taijutsu we end up with. Oh, here are the treasure chests. This is a tier 2 one. So it should be like 3 taijutsu. Oh, 4. And we also got a stormberry seed, which actually is a nice little time to talk about it. So we have at least one of each seed, and there's this whole like berry breeding mini game where you start with these seeds and then you eventually end up with every single seed. So we're gonna get into that once we use up these 300 supplies. And that is the last. No, I think we got enough. Yeah, we got enough supplies for one more island. So this is going to be the last island here. Any taijutsu to see? No, but we did get some supplies. So how much taijutsu did we get up to? We got up to 195. That's pretty nice. I also kept in my inventory a lot of the items that I picked up either from the ground or from the orikamis. And we ended up with a good amount of things, so I'm pretty happy with that. But let's go sell these two masks. I feel like they're not going to be very expensive. Yeah, so 260k and 300k. That's actually not that bad. So let's talk about the berries of the Ark. You have to get every single berry and harvest them from these two little berry planters, but only 4 of the seeds are stuff you can get as drops or natively. The rest of them you have to breed yourself. And there's a whole guide on the wiki on how to do it, but basically you start with the rumberry and exuberry planted, and then you can work your way through getting every single one of these as crossbreeds, and then you're able to complete this requirement in about a month. So I'm going to plant the exuberry on the left side, and then I'm going to plant the rumberry on the right side. And we'll come back in 2 days. It's every 42 hours that it grows, but you might as well just make it 2 days so I can make it a consistent thing, and we'll be able to pick it in the right order and start working our way through it. While we wait for that, we're gonna start on the mushrooms of the Ark. Much like the other things, there are 16 different mushrooms we can get, and half of these mushrooms you get on Uncharted Islands, and then half of them you get on non-Uncharted Islands. Some of them we need to get on Goshima, and there's a nice little forage area right over here. So on Goshima, we can get Corpse Bloom, Immoral, Buttercap, Wooshroom, which we already have, and then Snuffed Ruffle. It's a very weird name. But yeah, let's see what we get here. From looking up the drop rates on the wiki, the really hard one to get here is going to be the Buttercap. It's about 1 in 500, so we might be here for quite a while. Hey, that wasn't too bad. We gained like 300 and some odd mushrooms, and we got everything from this little area here. And we only have 4 mushrooms to go, which we need to get on the isles that once were turtles. And there it is. We got the final mushroom. Unfortunately, my recorder wasn't working, and I've already used up the toadstool. But we've discovered all the mushrooms of the Ark, getting a stamp in our Ark journal, so we just need the birds, castaways, and berries to go. Now, what do these mushrooms actually get us? Well, each time we harvest a mushroom, we get one of these types of mushrooms. And for every 5 of them, we can get a sliced mushroom, which we can use in shark soup. So this is essentially just chimes. The rare mushrooms, you only require 1, but I've already used them up. And then any mushrooms you gain on uncharted islands only require 2. It's kind of the balancing act where it takes 5 when you can just harvest it forever, and 2 when it's on an uncharted island. And if we look into our bank right now, we have basically 1,000 of everything with these sliced mushrooms. So I'm going to go ahead and finish slicing the rest of these off so they don't clog up some bank space. We ended up with another like 250 mushrooms out of this. But the cool part about shark soup is that all the items stack. It's really cool. So what we're going to do is come over here to the Waiko grill. That's where you cook the shark soup, and that's where you actually sell them. But before we're actually going to cook them, I need to go to the bank to get something that you really don't want to forget. And that item is the modified sous chef toque, as it gives a 5% chance to give you a double soup, and double soup means double chimes, which means less chimes we actually need. So the method here is pretty simple. You just cook away and then you trade tang and sell them the soup. As you can see, our modified sous chef toque allowed you to make an extra portion of food, which has been sent to the bank. So we just come through and we just sell our entire inventory here, and they're 102 each. And the range here also has the portable effect, where it's the 5% bonus chance with the extra portion. So we're going to get a lot of extra portions here. 10% in total. A brooch would bring it up to 15% by adding another 5%, but that's not worth the 150 mil for me, because I'm already 5.6, so I'm not going to get it back with skills like fletching or crafting like the average player would. One reason why I was making the shark soups at this grill, apart from the whole like quickly selling it, is to get the azure parrot bird. It only spawns when cooking shark soup or shark gumbo, whatever the lower tier version of shark soup is. So I needed to at least do some here. And yeah, it's like a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 40 chance. So it's not too hard to get. You just have to actually do it. The rest of the birds that I have to get are all daily spawns. And with this last shark soup, that should be pretty much our 30,000 capped up. Yeah, we have one that we couldn't sell here. But we're at 29,988 chimes gained today, and you can only gain 30,000 per day from selling to shops. So this is going to be a new daily. It took me about 20 minutes to go through the about 300 soups. And if we look in our tab here, we got a bonus 34 cooked soup because I had 1 extra in my inventory. So that's another like 3.4k chimes just from cooking it over there with the sous chef hat on. Around the Ark, you can find these treasure maps, and they lead to these islands with these castaways, and there are 10 of them. And this guy wants some aspirin, but unfortunately we don't have any. But just for talking to him, he will give us 1 Taiji2. They show up in random areas around the Ark, the treasure maps do. But once you walk past it once, it's there forever. So I'm going to go to each of these locations to see if I've gone by it. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for the daily spawn of it. Yep, so unfortunately for the remaining 5 castaways, we're going to have to go when they spawn. They spawn on a cycle where like 1 spawns each day. So we'll make sure to get these over the next week or so. In terms of the birds, there's only 1 bird where we can still actually force spawn and isn't a daily bird, and that is the tortoiseshell plover. And basically how it works is every time we catch a turtle, there is a 1 in 200 chance that a spawn will happen. With our extreme potion running out, it looks like we got 51 total shells, but we got double loot 5 times. So we got 46. We're getting about 460 per hour, which means this should take about half an hour on average to get. And it took basically exactly 200 turtle shells, but there is the tortoiseshell plover, which we've added into our logbook. With our newfound chime of fortune, I'm going to go ahead and stock up on 1,000 more supplies. I feel like that'll be enough supplies to get us all the Taiji2 and chimes that we need. in order to get the salty title. If we look at our currency pouch here, we have 202 currently. These tier 3 ones are so rare. It's always hype to get the big treasure chests. Do we get 7? Oh, we got 5. I believe that one can roll 5 to 7. But we're doing pretty well so far. We had 204 when we started. We now have 221, so we picked up 17, and we've used about 200 supplies. So yeah, we're on track for finishing this by the time we're out of supplies. Sometimes on these super long islands, it's actually quicker to just teleport back to Port Sarim, because it puts you right beside the quartermaster, and then you just click on a short voyage again. And this is going to be our last Uncharted Island. I started here with 426 Uncharted Isles, and I've now gone to 653. So I've done about like 250 small islands, and we're up to 255 Taijutsu. I went back and checked with the shop, and if I'm not missing any items, and I potentially could be missing any items, we need 261 Taijutsu. This one is going to give us 2 to 4. And in the Arc Journal, we still have 4 castaways to find, and each castaway is going to give us 1 Taijutsu. So all that together gets us up to 259 currently, and this gives 2 to 4, which will put us to 261 or 263 total. And we got 2 Taijutsu, so that should put us perfectly at the amount we need, and now we can just go back to our claimed island to do our daily skilling. In terms of the extra junk I got in my inventory, this is just from getting all the orakamis. So anything that is usable, I'm going to keep, like this golden bamboo. That's two free bundles of bamboo. And same with the fish. It's now been 2 days, so the rumberry and exuberry bush are fully grown. But we need to do this in like a very specific order to be efficient. So we need to pay attention to what the wiki says. So the very first thing they want us to do is to forage this exuberry bush, and it's going to produce a fireberry seed here. So now we can go ahead and plant this fireberry seed. And from here, we can now pick the rumberry bush, as it's going to have a fireberry beside it, and it's going to crossbreed as well into a blisterberry seed. Now we're going to save this blisterberry for later, but for now we're going to put another one of these exuberry seeds in it, and I'm going to do this over and over again until we have all, I guess, 14 of these seeds. And that is our last shark soup sold. We had about 1,000 of everything, and we now have basically not 1,000 of everything. Let's see how many bonus soups we have in the bank. We have 93. So of the 1,000 we cooked, we got 93 extra, so 9.3%. Unfortunately, not the full 10%. And our chime count is now 123k or 128k. So we can start to buy out a lot of the rewards here. And while we can't get everything, we can get almost everything. So we're going to get the Winds of Waiko, Rage of Haiju, Delicia's Revenge, Hanto Curious, Hanto Leggings, Hanto Headpiece, and Hanto Sabaton. So what do we still need? We need the Hanto Handguards, the Spear Dragon Pet, the 3 outfits here, and the Contract Guru. So combined, that's 47.5k chimes. So in about 2 more days, we will have it. And this is going to be our last bird. It's been a couple days. We have now discovered all the birds of the Ark. We basically just needed to go around and wait for the day. This is the Monday spawn. And then there's one for basically every day of the week. And that is one more thing knocked out for Salty. We just need to get the final castaway here. And then the whole berry planter process, which takes about a month to get through and plant everything. So in terms of active things, we're pretty much done. And this castaway is going to pop up on the 20th. For context, right now, it's the 19th in-game. So 24 hours from now, we'll be able to get the last castaway. At the same time, while we were waiting for all these daily things to pop up, I went ahead and got ourselves about 400 more soup supplies. And I already did 1 day worth of selling, so that's why we're up to 30,000 chimes. And we'll just finish off these final 124, and that should give us enough chimes to buy everything from the shop that we can right now. And the last of the soups have been made, but we do have all the bonus ones we get from the sous chef outfit and the Wyco grill effect. So let's sell these as well. Yeah, 37. But now we have 46,000 chimes, and I think the amount that I needed was 45,000. So we can buy the Spirit Dragon pet, we can buy the Death Lotus Rogue outfit, buy the Gu Ronin outfit, buy the Hanto handguards. And if we look here, pretty much everything says owned, except for the Sirius Fang, but that's not a requirement because it's something you purchase every once in a while. The only other thing we need is the Sobajo Contract Guru, which you get from ports. And then the Sea Singer Acolyte outfit, where you need to have all the scrolls for Sea Singers. And I can't show it here, but I have, of the 12 Sea Singer scrolls, I have 5 of them. Over the next couple of months, I'll pick up the rest of those scrolls. So what do we still need for this? The 3 items, as mentioned, the Contract Guru, which we get from ports, the Acolyte outfit, where we need to get the Singer scrolls, and the Idle Crabble Teen Pet, which we can buy from the GE. Then we also need to get all the berries done and all the castaways done. Once that's done, we will have fully unlocked the salty title. So over the next month or so, I'm gonna focus on getting the berries done, and we'll come back with the actual complete title in hopefully a month or 2. Though we're pretty much done all the active playing on it. As to not leave you with 0 requirements completed this episode, I decided to go ahead and get one of the requirements that I've been putting off doing, and that is Memory of Nomad. It's a post-quest fight that, depending on how quickly you kill him, you get specific rewards. Most notably, there are different tiers of cape, with the best cape coming in at a sub 6 minute kill. In the pre-2020 power creep era of RuneScape, this boss fight wasn't too difficult, but getting that sub 6 time was a sign of a good PVMer. It was difficult to do, and you had to have multiple attempts at it. But now in the 2020 era, you can kind of just stroll in and get it right away. I ended up using Majorot Aura instead of Reckless, as I was worried about taking too much damage, as one of the unique parts of the fight is that if you decide to turn Soul Split on, then Nomad will heal himself at 10,000 HP every tick. It's funny because I accidentally turned on Soul Split multiple times when using certain abilities, just as a habit. Like every time I rapid fire, I always turn on Soul Split and flick it with Protection Prayer. With not having access to Soul Split to heal, Onyx Bolts became a very valuable tool to keep HP up without needing to eat, allowing me to use a Ripper Demon. Beyond that, he's poisonable, so get those Cinderbanes and Weapon Poison going. Also, don't forget to Vuln like I did about half of the fight. If you're a competent PVMer and you have the gear, you can mostly just jump in and react to what's going on, but there are 2 good things to know beforehand. On phase 2 and 3, he will say something along the lines of "you can't handle my wrath," and that is a 1-hit attack that is coming out, and you can block this with Resonance or Disruption Shield. On the final phase, he hits with rapid melee hits and has a chance of dropping your melee Protection Prayer. With those 2 things together, you can lead to taking a lot of damage at once, so if he does that, just put on a shield or defender and use it as a defensive ability like Resonance or Reflect. But that's going to be it for this episode of the Trim series. We only knocked out 1 requirement, dropping us down to, I think, 15 requirements left, but we did make an absolute ton of progress on Salty. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and hit that subscriber button. It really helps me out. But past that, have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.